Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's Prime here, and welcome to a different sort of video. So this is something I've never done before, properly, but I hope that if this is received well, and people can find this educational, and at least kind of take my kind of business for it, we're gonna start reviewing some music on this channel. But we're not gonna do like the normal Anthony Fantano style reviews. We're gonna be looking at score music here. I love score music. I actually over there, and there's a doorway back there on the left is a room where I have a binder with nothing but scores. I love scores, and I don't know, they're just great. And today we're gonna be looking at Contraption by Adrian B. Sims. It is a grade 4.5. We're going to be kind of listening to it, looking at it, analyzing it, kind of picking it apart. And if I need to show you guys something specific, you guys will be shown this screen right here. So that way you don't have the webcam blocking whatever I'm trying to show you. But with that in mind, let's go ahead and dive into this real quick. It's a 5-minute tune. We'll be here a little bit. So real quick, let's go ahead and take a look. Adrian B. Sims, that's him in the top left corner right there. He born in Seattle. He graduated in Maryland, and he wrote this when he was 18 years old. You can once again pause music if you want to read the rest of this. Read about the piece as well, and the notes. Well, it looks like we're going to be starting with intensity. The dotted quarter note rhythm in 120 BPM for that. We're starting in 6/8, and it looks like we're going rhythmically. It looks like we're going to have a lot of time similarities between the two things. And let's just kind of see how it goes. All right, so starting off originally, you have this basic melody kind of put on there by the clarinets and the alto saxophones, as well with the tambourine kind of chiming in there as well. And then you have the what's percussion 2? Percussion 2 is the toms. So we've got the toms going as well, kind of the as in the alternate melody, and that's to kind of keep time. You have that's to help the rest of the ensemble keep time. And then from there you have your trumpets come in with this melody. Bum 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 ba da 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 da. And then you go to the trombones having it here. From there, we have first clarinet kind of changing. Second and third still have the droning melody. Bass clarinet also comes in here with the I guess the melody part. Bum 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 bum. And then low brass continue to have that, trombones and euphoniums. No tuba yet. You have some kind of embellishments there from the tuba and the timpani a little bit. Seems like they're going to be mirroring the parts here for a little bit. Flutes start to come in there at measure 17 right up here. As well as you hear this alternate newer sound. And the ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Let's take a listen. We get the drop out here. We still have the alto sax going the bum bottom, but alto sax clarinets as well, doing the bum bottom 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 bum bum. They're still doing that. We've got trumpets and horns doing this bum 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 bum. Low brass and bellows, bum bum bum. Percussively, not too. It's kind of the same thing going on right here as we see. Kind of the same thing percussively as we have the toms are going and still the same droning here from the tambourine as well, with the timpani embellishments in line with the tuba and the rest of the low brass here is coming in at measure 21. Okay, you have the little xylophone embellishment there. least that's what it sounded like. Yep, there you go. Xylophone right there. Being added in. Anything else percussively I'm missing? Bells had their little embellishments as well. Xylo's kind of coming in here. A little bit of... It's not going. There we go. We're at Meg 37 right here. Trombones with the melody, or that why did I say it with the kind of with the metronomic part there as well. Tom's still doing the same thing. Clarinets, altos, tenor, horns with that. All right, let's talk about that 4-measure run real quick. So you have the so we have there is you have the kind of a faster paced instruments and the piccolo, flute, oboe, clarinets, trumpets, baritones, and xylophone. having the and then if you're not that, almost everyone else is just bum bum, and then the higher pitched instruments have the digga. That little run there, and it's the same thing kind of repeating, and then we kind of go into a little episode here. The clarinet trill going on right here. Horn melody. Okay, the xylophone flute. Xylophone, flute, and bassoon exchanged a nice little embellishment section there. That was nice. Same little kind of embellishment. We're getting into a time change. And stylistically, we're getting more of almost like a march feel almost, instead of like the kind of swinging. You're getting more of the bum 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 bum. Kind of more of a march feel, kind of picks up tempo. It's very, very brass heavy. Not a lot of woodwind sound at all. Yeah, almost no woodwind sound. You have some you have like some half notes and stuff going on here from some of the instruments. But other than that, you're not going to get much here for that section. You're going to have some trills come in here shortly. Alright, so here we go back to this metronomic kind of thing, the bum 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 in your trumpet, horn, and trombone 1 and 2. You're gonna get this new melody from a lot of the upper woodwind parts, and the kind of here starting in a measure 87. With this and once again, instead now you have the trombones, euphoniums, and tubas. I believe yes, bass clarinet and baritone sax on this kind of real deep kind of just quarter note landing on those beats. We go back to the 3-4-6-8 pattern. Boom 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 boom. Woodwinds. Nice little run there from the upper woodwinds just then. Let's go ahead and take that back. And we realize that's what the kind of melody kind of proceeding is. Then the bum 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 dun dun. That's kind of what we're dealing with here now. Instead of getting away from those kind of faster, monotonous kind of things. While it's monotonous, it is the melody. You still have the bum bottom 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 bum bum in the upper woodwinds, excluding the flute and oboe. And you can hear, right, it gets real hollow in the sound all of a sudden because you have, for the first time in this entire piece, for a majority of this piece, you have no percussion at measure 107, aside from these little embellishments here from percussion 1. And then it slowly starts to come back in. But it sounds the most empty it has since the beginning because of that. If we go ahead and show you guys kind of what we're working with here on the left side of the screen, it's kind of what we're dealing with. But yeah, let's go ahead. Let's bring it back a little bit so you guys can unpack that. Bring it back more. One more scene here. And even so, there's more instruments playing. Or actually, there's not more instruments playing. It swaps instead of on the brassy trumpet and horn part doing it. It is then transferred to the flute and oboe playing it instead. So it sounds softer. But it sounds softer, but once again, it's just as skeletal, even though there is, by technicality, more parts playing this. Here. And once again, we get very, very skeletal in the kind of feel of it. We start getting a lot of these kind of like group things where you start like few and then you build up very quickly in this kind of thing. You very, very skeletal here. Only brass, low reed, and the altos are really doing much of anything. Zero percussion here for a solid 2 measures, which is astonishing when you think of it. It gives a nice hollow feel. We get more here. And you see that's a nice build-up right there. You start getting more and more parts, and by this note right here, every instrument has played at least once. By the time we get off that and we get to this timpani kind of 8th note section right here. Alright, let's talk about this real quick. Once again, we're going back to, we're hitting kind of a mellower section once again. A lot of these, like, really loud and, like, big hits and really quick mellow sections, which I kind of like. It's not too sectioned. It kind of is a little bit free-forming in terms of, while it is divided, it's little, like, bite-sized chunks so you can get used to it. Excuse me. So, I have just flute 1 and 2, clarinet 1, bass clarinet, and tuba, surprisingly, with the timpani, and then the trombone embellishments here, and more players to come in. Real nice and mellow. Horn part there. Starts to get gradually louder. The brass gets more and more in there. And here it is. This is a pivotal moment in the piece because while it's skeletal in terms of there's not a lot happening, it's all unison. So it's louder than anything else that has been played in this mellow section. Because it's all unison, because it's all supposed to be played at fortissimo, it's all unison, but it's skeletally, there's not a lot of support system for it. The support system is the melody, and that's the way it's designed. If we go and take a listen to it real quick. This is where it kind of starts to kind of get like, it has to take that really modern thing where it starts off with melody and then we get the if you look here, down here measure 153, 154, and it starts to build up very, very slowly. You can tell that something's going to happen just by looking at it without even skipping ahead. You have like the melody by itself. And then you get here, you have the so you can tell, like, it's built that way. It's built that way. This is hollow but full. Skeletal but full. Everyone's playing here. Alright, so let's unpack this real quick. You have your main melody, bum 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 ba ba bum 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 ba ba, which is what we heard originally from the brass, and now you hear it in once again still the high brass, or I guess not highbrow. You hear it in the trumpets, you hear it in most of the woodwind parts, excluding the saxophones. Then you have this weird eighth note part coming in from trumpet 1 and 2, alto 1 and 2, and tenor, where you have okay, this weird eighth note part. Then you have the bass line here, bum 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 bum. And then in measure, where is it? Measure 161. This one right here, the horn really starts to come through with its counter melody, and it's short, but it's sweet and it's prominent. And they did a really good job of emphasizing this in this recording. Let's go take it back. Horns here. Once again, really nice counter melody. It really sings out there. It adds a bit of flavor to the melody as well. Percussively, there's a lot going on here. So we've got the timpani part on the same bass riff as the tuba, baritone, euphonium, and trombone 3/bass trombone. Bells and chimes, just that whole note. Not a lot going on there. At the end, you start to get a little bit more from them. Xylophone on the main melody. Bum 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 bottom bottom bum 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 bottom bottom bum 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 bottom bottom bum 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 da 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 da. Your normal melody. I don't know why I sang the whole thing. And then we kind of get down to your unpitched percussion. Percussion 1, weird melody. Yeah. And the percussion 1, percussion 2 is just straight eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and bum 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 bottom 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 bum 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 bada and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 straight and percussion same thing. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and percussive 4, really quiet, just these kind of whole notes coming in from there. Let's listen to that melody one more time. Very strong. Really good example of proper. All right, and then once again we have this big 10 measure hit, give or take, or 7 measure hit or something like that. And then mellow. Once again, look at the score, how skeletal it is. Just the and which is if anything, it's a transitional period as well, which is what I like about it. Saxophones keep their original melody. It now becomes metronomic but melody, and then it becomes more metronomic here. Horns, clarinets. And then here we have once again more metronomic material here. Let's look at a trombone. Just 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Or no, but they have and rest. Once again, they have the saxophone melody. Then baritone, tuba, same thing, and the same bass line they had before. Percussion 1, straight eighth notes with the occasional 16th riff. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 40 and 1 and 2. And then here we start picking up in measure 171. We have the, or no, 172, sorry. You have the pickup notes from the oboe and flutes. You have the, which is metronomic, but also stylistically different because it's changing notes. Whereas the majority of the actual metronomic eighth notes that we had previously is on one note. So you have the oboe and the flute kind of doing their own thing there. And you have your horn and your clarinet and your alto 1 and 2. Or no, oh sorry, that's alto 2. Sorry, that's A2. We have alto 2 on this melody as well. Percussively, very bland as well. We get obviously the kind of the sticks together to kind of create that effect. But let's listen to it. And once again, little embellishments here from the trumpets. Very nicely done. Not overdone. It's just enough. I like the triplets. The digga-da-digga-da-da. That's nice. It was nice. 179 here, still very skeletal. It was on this pass with a low brass and the clarinets here. Clarinets point coming strong here. High winds here. So this is a real passing of the baton moment. So you have the ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and then when that's happening, you have the low brass, ba-bum-bum-bum, and then in the mid some and woodwinds and the horns, you have the ba-bum ba-bum ba-ba-ba-ba-bum. That part. Let's go listen to it one more time. Make sure we get all these melodies right. One set, second set, third set, third set, fourth set, fifth set. Here's where we get a lot of the syncopation. You have the saxes going forever on a trill, just like the clarinet did earlier in this piece. Bass clarinet, metronomic here, same thing with the tuba. I feel bad for the tuba's Barry sax. They really didn't get much here. Kind of a little kind of contribution here. It's really going to be the horns and the trumpet 2 and 3 that really steal the show for here for a little bit before we get to measure 199 and even kind of after that in 204. A nice trombone 1 and 2 part right there. Look at that. Nice trombone 1 part again. We go back to this section right here. This is a famed section. It's very hard to play. Once again, we have those grace note riffs coming into it. Very, very fast lead in, but it does work here. Let's take a look at it here. Let's go back a little bit. And this time there's so much more going on rhythmically. You have the bum 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 bum, and you had the normal trumpet part there that was there before with the xylos and the percussion 2 on that sharing rhythm. But then you have almost all the woodwinds except for the low reeds on this 16th though. 1 and 2, 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 1 and 1 up here, and it adds so much more to it. It makes it more complex. I like it. We get really mellow again, really mellow again. Trumpet and let's go back a little bit. Trumpet embellishments there. Bum 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 bum. Hey, these nice kind of embellishments. We get once again the clarinet and sax. Bum bottom 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 bottom. And we get these nice chords here from the horns and the trombones and euphoniums. Percussively, while it was all kicking off earlier down there, once again we go back to the constant rhythm in percussion 2, the bass rhythm in percussion 3, and the little embellishments here in percussion 1. Here we go back to the beginning, but if you let's go listen to this whole page for a second so you can kind of get a message, kind of get a sense of what I'm trying to say here. Let's go look at the full thing. So right there, we have the original, the bum 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 ba da 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 da. But instead, you don't drag it out. You go straight into the bum 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 bum. And it works. It works really well. And then it's kind of like a real quick kind of a ode to what happened before the piece. Let's go ahead and turn the webcam back on. Here we get kind of a summary here. Let's go back. You can look at the summary of all the melodies. All right, let's talk about this absolute nightmare. Not nightmare, but absolute mess of, you have the bum 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 from some sections. You have the horn part, which is and then you have you have that part. You have, okay, I guess a lot of people share that horn part. I just can't see. Percussively, once again, the constant rhythms in percussion 2, the semi constant rhythms in percussion 3, the embellishment style rhythms in percussion 1. Xylophone kind of being the same thing as the trumpet part here, with a little bit eighth note kind of differentiating. Same thing with the bells. Here, timpani kind of adding in at the tail end of this here. Let's go ahead and listen to this absolute clusterfuck. Back over here. Moving through. 246 here. Now. Right there, that moment of calm. Second of pause, and then... which is a very standard thing you see in classical composition music, especially in the modern era. Let's go ahead and take it back. And from here we get kind of like a heroic march kind of tune, which is not a melody we hear in this sound, but we've heard it bum 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 bum, which we've heard it before, but it sounds different because of the pitch in which the woodwinds are. So brass chord here, we pick it up. Eggshell here, faster. Alright, so once again, very strong, very energetic, exciting piece of music. Just under 5 minutes of cut. Looks like we took exactly 27 minutes to go through this thing. If you guys would like the link to this song, it will be in the description below. If you guys would like another piece of view, if there's a score on YouTube I can look at, I will gladly go ahead and do my own personal looks and takes on it. How would I rate this song personally? I love this tune. I think this is a great song, especially if you are of a higher skill level, but not like it's not super hard. I think any like decent high school ensemble could play this, or a bad college ensemble could play this. Really nice piece. I'm feeling kind of my experience with it. I'm gonna give it a gonna give it a 7. Gonna give it a 7 because I like it. It's energetic. It's got enough changing elements. It keeps me hooked. It keeps me engaged. It's fast. It's energetic. It moves. It bounds. It thrives. But thank you guys for coming to the video. I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.